What's up, guys? Welcome to Straight from the Chest. My name is Justin Groth. Guys, just want to thank you for giving me your listening ear. Thank you for tuning in with me. If you're tuning in on the Instagram Live or if you're watching on YouTube, I greatly appreciate you. You're the whole reason why I do this. That's really it. You're the whole reason. And a lot of times, look, I haven't gotten on here and ranted for a second, and I hope this isn't coming, or I hope this doesn't turn into a full rant, but it might. The reason why I podcast, and a couple people have asked me this, the reason why I podcast is because of you. And, you know, there's one main constant to this. I do love talking to people, and I do love self-therapizing. And I have done that from a young age. So it's very, very native and natural to me to do it on here when I'm talking to nobody. Nobody's in front of me. But I know that there are people that probably are watching. There are people that are probably listening. You know, this podcast stands out to multiple platforms. Apple, Spotify, there's YouTube, Stitcher, I believe, as well. I mean, it fans out to multiple people. I don't know who listens to it. I don't know who watches it. The only people that I kind of know are people that tune in through YouTube, or some of you that I see on the live list. But I don't really know who it's reaching. I don't look at analytics. You know, I've talked about that before. So the main driver behind this, it has to be you, the potential person that might be watching this and seeing this, and actually hopefully deriving some value off of the mechanisms that I illustrate. You know, maybe something you can derive value from, or you can actually place or input in your life that helps you to come out of a circumstance or provide a solution towards your problem with regards to. I mean, I don't know. But oftentimes, like you probably, you get frustrated because you don't know where this is going. You don't know why you're even doing it. You have to understand that all these questions are valid. And they're questions you ask yourself because you're a human being. And I mean, look, we don't do things because we necessarily like them in the beginning. Sometimes we do things because we know we have to. We have to do these things. We have to follow this process because we know that this is what is proven. It's a proven model in how to gain what we want in the future. But with your own personal endeavors, there isn't necessarily all the time a proven model. And maybe the way you do it is so uniquely different and obtuse from what somebody else does, how somebody else does it, that the way you do it, you're now just questioning everything because you don't even know if you're in the right field. You don't even know if you're in the right realm of how you're doing things. But for some reason, it's kind of working for you, and you can see yourself kind of engraving a path, so to speak, but it's not proven. You don't know if this is going to work. You don't know who you're giving value to. You don't hear about it. You don't see it. You don't read about it. You know, you're not famous. People, well, maybe you are, but people are not consistently flooding your DMs with all kinds of accolades and or critiques. It's like crickets. It's just crickets. And at times you almost want to ruffle feathers on purpose, or you want to maybe not ruffle feathers, but you want to see who's paying attention. And really, respectively, if you were to fall off from doing whatever you're doing, maybe nobody would even notice. Maybe the people that listen to you or the people that are affected by you probably wouldn't even care. I mean, they would care, but they wouldn't care as much as you probably like them to care. That's why whatever you're doing, whatever business you're setting up, whatever software program you're in the middle of, whatever it is you're trying to curate, you have to be the carrier of the care, so to speak. That means that you carry the burden of the care. That means that if you don't understand who this is impacting or why you're even doing it, you have to be the reason why you care. You can't count on other people to care for you because that's not going to get shit done. And you're going to oftentimes be sitting on your ass thinking, I don't want to do this. There's no point in me doing this. I can't see any of the benefits. It's taking time away from me. It's taking energy away from me. It's draining my mental faculties at times because whatever I do want to produce or promote is coming from a place of definite intrinsic emotion. I don't even know what word I could label it with. You're coming from a place of care. You want to give people value. You don't know how to do it. And you want to deliver value, or you want to give a service to somebody, or and you're doing so the best way you know how, but nothing is happening. Silence is all around. If anything, you might get critiques, or sometimes you might get an accolade here, accolade there. Here's what you have to do. You can't listen to any of it. You can't listen to the accolades because what one person will like, another person will hate. And that can distort the true organic person that you're trying to curate. You cannot listen to any of it. Now, look, I'm not saying that when your parents give you criticisms and or compliments, like obviously they're your parents, but when it comes to people that are outside of your element or outside of your respective field or craft, I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, but they don't matter. They don't matter. They don't have your vision. They don't have your zeal. They don't have your character. They don't know what you've been through, and they're not going through what you're going through. So they don't have a say. You have to go off of your gut, what you feel intrinsically, viscerally, way deep down, man. And you have to pull that out and extract it. And the only way for you to do that is for you to get alone, in silence, by yourself, and figure out what makes you tick. And figure out why you're doing the thing that you're doing. You're always going to get the sense of, you know what? If I stop now, no one would know, no one would care. But for some reason, what you have constructed, and the oath that the arbitrary oath that you've sworn yourself into, that seems to not be an option. And you're right, it shouldn't be an option. Because anytime you start to get cracked, or you start to feel like you're fading, that's when chumps opt out. That's when chumps fall out. But you're not made to be a chump. You're made to be a champ. But that's not how champions win. Champions go through all of the grit and they persevere. And they sit and they have to relish with themselves. Like, who the am I? Who are you? Why are you doing this? What's the reason behind it? Your reasoning may not be like anybody else's reasoning. Your reasoning may not even sit well with most people. That's fine. But you have to figure out that reasoning. Why do you even do what you do? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you have a disciplined structure? Why do you not do the things you know you're supposed to do? Have a conversation with yourself. And when you start to feel like, look, man, this is getting shaky. I'm fading a little bit. I don't have the same zeal or energy that I thought that I had once before. Well, you have to learn how to spice things up, man. And you have to learn how to do things differently and get outside of your comfort zone. But not just get outside of your comfort zone, because that's way too non-original. You need to set up particular, on purpose, responsibilities that you adhere to. And the only way to do that is for you to set something in stone and stick to it no matter what. If that's a podcast, stick to it. If that's producing content on Instagram and you say to yourself, I'm going to do 2 pieces of content a day, every day for the rest of the year, do it. Even if you hate every second of it while you're doing it, you got to do it. Because you're not just grounding in a specific and you're not just grounding in a specific element or a mental construct that you're going to be able to take with you for the duration of your life that will be fundamentally grounded and established in your mind. But you're going to be able to now say to yourself, I didn't think I had it when I knew I had it. That's something that you've proven to yourself. So the fact that you went along with it and you didn't opt out, you didn't chump out, and you went the duration of the time that you set, you swore yourself into this, and you didn't break contract. That's something to be proud of. That's something that's going to elevate your self-esteem. And that's something that you can't buy and that people can't give you. You have to derive that on your own. You have to dig your heels in and you have to extract whatever that is. And you have to make sure you do it on purpose. You have to do these things on purpose because no one gives a shit if you opt out. No one. No one's going to be affected by this. You're too small time right now. You're not anything yet. But for you to be anything, you have to go through the trials. You have to go through you have to actually fall down. And you have to question yourself when you're down. Question yourself, why am I doing this? Oh yeah, that's right. Because I was meant for more. Because I'm not a chump, I'm a champ. And the only way you're gonna get that goal of being a fucking champ is by way of you getting scathed and beaten and bruised along the way. Forgive me for cussing. Or don't, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, that's a reality. And some of you have far different stories than others. That's fine. You should not compare yourself to other people's story. Because A, they don't have your vision. B, they don't have your character. C, they don't have your zeal. And D, they definitely do not have your uniqueness that God instantiated to you in the first place and actually inculcated you with. They don't have that. And therefore, they're not going to see what you're seeing. You have to just let this process ride out. There is no other option. There is no miracle, like there's no miracle food to get you in shape. There's no miracle supplement that exists. There's no miracle program. There is no miracle shortcut. You know what the shortcut is? It's not even a shortcut. It's time and perseverance attached to time. That's it, dude. And the belief in yourself. But that goes without saying. Because if you are the carrier of your care, you've already shown that you believe in yourself. Even if nobody else believes in you or nobody else says that, what you have is anything special, that's fine. But you have to be willing to take upon the care when nobody else cares. Because there are going to be times, a lot of times, long periods of time, where you're going to be the only one that cares. And if you take anything from this rant, message, whatever you want to call it, take that piece. You have to care more. You have to carry the care because no one else will. Not until you have some type of making to your endeavor. But that only comes with time. So if you can't put out the guns right now and stick to your contract, you're going to end up a chump. You're not going to end up a champ. Done.